I'm here with my client, Heather Garbutt, who is a love and relationship coach. And she's here to tell us about her experience of coming through our client creation program, Fierce, Feminine, and Free. So, welcome, Heather. Thank you for being here.
You're very welcome. I'm enjoying being part of this group. Thank you.
Amazing. So, let's start with, what do you do and who's it for?
Love and relationship coach. That means I help people who are single to find true committed romantic love. That's the first instance. If it's a new relationship, I help them set it up on good foundations so that they can really generate trust, commitment, resolve conflicts easily, handle all those big things in life, like family, money, career, sex, time. All of those big things get discussed prior.
Mm-hmm.
And then for people whose relationships have run their course, I help them to separate well with conscious uncoupling so that they don't damage their kids emotionally. So they're two families, one family in two houses, not two families in two houses. So they stay together and bonded. So they don't spend all their children's inheritance on lawyers' fees or the money that they're going to need to set up their lives going forward separately.
Wow, that's so powerful. Yeah. And I can imagine that that could be a lot of the inheritance that could get spent on that. So, and something that I would actually love for our audience to know about you is that you are my relationship coach. And I first came to you for conscious uncoupling, but because the work we've been doing is so powerful and so good, I've continued working with you. So I just wanted to share that because I can vouch for the power of your work. So let's talk about your experience in Fierce, Feminine, and Free, which is our client creation program. So what was business like before you joined the program?
I think I was much more sporadic in my approach, and I didn't really know how to generate leads at all. So I was doing things, I was networking, I was putting posts on Facebook and LinkedIn, but it was more like broadcasting. There wasn't a sense of engagement. I felt like I was being intrusive if I followed people up. I was scared to death of doing anything like a live and didn't realize that that was one way that people could really see me. So I was in the mindset of safe, hidden, small, which I know is a sort of childhood thing, and unpacking that with you has been really useful, and finding a new identity and a new way of being in business has been amazing.
Wow. So powerful. I've got chills hearing that. And yeah, I mean, the Facebook Lives, you do them regularly now, don't you?
Yes, every week. I did one this morning.
Absolutely amazing. And they're brilliant as well. They're so valuable. So, okay, so you're doing your Facebook Lives on the regular. Share with us some results. What's changed in your business since doing the program?
I've doubled my income. And I've doubled my expenditure as well, because now I've got my VA working overtime to keep up with everything. I've employed somebody to do automations and to create a book for me and all sorts of reels and things, which I don't have time to do. So I've realized what else I need to keep generating and getting bigger. And I've also doubled my client intake and the quality of leads. We've worked really hard on who I'm really for. And so the quality of people coming to me are a much better fit.
Wow, that's amazing. So I just want to unpack that a little bit, because those are some big results, right? That's huge. And you are someone who was already established. You already had clients. You're not a newbie, but you actually doubled your client intake. You doubled your income and doubled your leads. So absolutely amazing. Well done. Now, then you said, oh, I also started spending more. That's because you are choosing to go to the next level, right? You have decided to invest in your growth. So that's the way I heard you speak about that to me. That's a very conscious decision. You said, right, I'm making more money now. I can see this business is growing. You have a big mission, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. Do you want to share that with us?
Yes, to improve the quality of relationships for 10 million people worldwide.
I love that. I love that. So you had to start being visible, and you have. And look, and so now you're investing to grow. But okay, so doubled your income, doubled your client intake, doubled your leads, and you're getting a better quality of client in. Has anything else changed kind of within you, within your business? How is life different?
I think I'm quite different. The work that we've done on the archetypes, the different identities specific to business has been really useful. And the money mindset piece that I've been doing alongside has been really waking me up to my more profound attitudes, the deeper set things. So my attitudes before were to keep small, safe, and hidden. I've said that piece, but what went with that was also shame of wanting, which has come from the childhood stuff, and a sort of fear of being rich and not liked, or fear of being visible and criticized or mocked or thought to be a show-off, or who the hell does she think she is, sort of thing. That it's all still there, obviously, and doesn't just go away. But I have a handle on it so much more. And I'm much more in my capable self, my grown-up self, my business self, which is generative.
Wow, that's such a good word. And that's what I would refer to as being the CEO of your business. Super, super powerful. And I love that you shared some of the challenges, because I think sometimes people watch these videos and they think, oh, it's all right for her. She, because she doesn't have to deal with what I have to deal with. We all have these doubts and fears. We all have these stories. And like you said, it's not that they've gone away. It's just you're doing the work, you're showing up anyway, you're making a different decision. We talk about claiming your confidence, and that we teach a very specific way to do that. But you are doing those things. You're doing the things that we teach in the program. And as a result, you are becoming this new identity. You are this new identity, and here are the results. So
yeah, there's another piece I want to add about that, which is new identity. There's been a bit of a rebel in me about organization and cleanliness and tidiness about the house goes with it, because that was my mother's priority. So I sort of threw that baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. And the structures that you've given us, the ways of handling and managing all of the new work, which keeps it more coherent. Believe me, I still have trouble with the dusting, but I'm getting better at this.
Well, look, you are a CEO and a businesswoman who has time for dusting, let's be honest, right? That's what we pay people to help us support our empire, right? Because you have this big mission in the world. So amazing. Who would you say that Fierce Feminine and Free is a great fit for?
I think anybody that's started their coaching business already, so they've got a feel for what they're doing and who they want to be serving. You don't have to have that nailed down to fine detail, but just a little bit of experience. So you've got some clients and you know what you're doing in the broadest sense. If you're looking to get more people into your community, you really want to reach people, it's a very simple and straightforward method that is quite outside most coaches' experience. Speaking personally, and for other people that I know, you get all the training of what to do in the room, but you don't get any training, or very little, on the things like marketing and structures and running a business and the identity that goes with running a business. So if you've got issues with any of that, or there's bits of learning that you haven't got with any of that, or bits of identity that you need to develop, or past pieces of arrested development you need to work through, this is for you.
Yeah, so just to kind of clarify on that, thank you for that. What I think you're saying is often coaches go through training to become coaches, and they get a lot of training around that, but they don't necessarily get the business support, the marketing, and how to develop that identity within themselves. Or if they do on their coaching program, it's a small amount, right? It's very high levels, very general. So that's what we teach inside of Fierce Feminine and Free, is how to do those pieces, how to market yourself simply, so that you can create a steady stream of clients, so that you can charge more, so that, you know, you can, people want their 10K months, you can absolutely create your 10K months. It's those kind of things. That is what this program is for. Have I understood correctly?
Yes. And the other piece that I would add to it is, you know, from my background, I've been a psychotherapist 40 years, but I've only practiced for 35. I chose in the last 5 years to go into coaching. And I know that learning is relational. And the container that you create is incredibly safe. You're a brilliant, steady, kind teacher. And the way that you've set us up with our accountability buddies, you know, that's beautiful for the in-between support. You're there regularly, you're responsive, you hold us really well, and you lead by example. All the things you would want from a good parent to make you feel safe and secure and able to learn.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to hear that. And yes, that is really my intention with Fierce Feminine and Free. It is a high touch program. It is a safe space. It's intimate. Every woman, I get to know her. I get to know her business. As you say, I'm a hands-on coach, not a hands-off coach. So, you know, some programs you go in, some group programs you go in, you're one of hundreds and you're like a number. You're lucky if you get 10 minutes. But it isn't like that in Fierce Feminine and Free. Everyone gets coached. You can access me in between on Voxer. If you have a question, you know, I like to engage. I like to really link arms with the people who come through. And because it's no good if it's all just theoretical. It has to be, you know, Fierce Feminine and Free, it's an implementation program. It's actually pretty simple. And what I mean by that is the method is simple, but you have to come learn it and you have to implement it and be supported and held accountable to do that.
You do. It is simple in a way. Some of the things are glaringly obvious when you point them out. But until they're pointed out, you can't see them.
It's so true. We can't see our own stuff. So what would you say to anyone who's perhaps watching this, they, you know, maybe considering Fierce Feminine and Free, but they're a bit shy to spend the money, you know, maybe they've invested in coaching programs before, they haven't got the result, they've been burned, they're not sure. What would you say to them?
I would say it's the best money I've spent. You know, in any sort of developmental business side of things, it's the best money I've spent. And it's really built on all of the coaching learning for my personal identity. It's really built on that and changed that. I would say go for it. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Is there anything else you wanted to share before we wrap up?
I think the bit I was going to share was about the level of support that you give. I don't think that can be underestimated, because this can be a really lonely profession, and on your own, often one-to-one, or, you know, being the responsible one. So being on the receiving end of such good support, it's priceless.
Wow, amazing. Okay, well, I appreciate you so much. It's a pleasure working with you. And I know that you have now come into our graduates program, which I'm super excited for you to continue the journey with you as you create this mission in the world. Where can people come and connect with you and be part of your audience?
I'm on Facebook. You're welcome to friend me and contact me in Messenger. My email is heather@heathergarbutt.com. And my website is heathergarbutt.com.
Okay, and we can put a link into this video as well when we post it, so you know you'll be able to connect with Heather. And if you are someone who you know, vibes with anything Heather said about, you know, calling in the one, you know, creating that relationship, that really juicy love relationship, or if you're going through separating and you want to consciously uncouple, definitely get in touch with Heather, get in her world. She gives so much value. So amazing. Congrats on your results and your progress so far. Can't wait to see what you build next. And thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.